Gears of War just doesn't hold up to the standards of gaming anymore, people. I remember back in, what year did I get an Xbox 360? I remember I was holding off to get a PlayStation 3. But back then I was a big, giant, huge NBA 2K fan. I loved the 2K to the fullest. I was a diehard NBA 2K fanatic. I despise the NBA Live franchise. But I was going to hold off to get the PlayStation 3. But then I went to my friend's house and they were all over there playing the new modern schwanky NBA 2K game on the 360. And I said, I need a 360 now. I just couldn't wait much longer. So I went down to my local GameStop. I got the 360. I was looking for an RPG, but there weren't any JRPGs at the time. But there was a great game that I considered one of the greatest games of all time. It's in my top 5 lists of RPGs today, just by me buying a 360. And that's Oblivion. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Amazing. Then, I heard like a week or so or a month or so, or right down the tailpipe, that there was going to be a game called Gears of War, and that was Gears of War 1, and I seen the graphics, and I was like, God damn, this motherfucker looks amazing compared to the things we had back on the PlayStation 2. You really can notice the graphical upgrade compared to how today, where you can't really notice that much. People are more counting frames now, more than back in the day when we were like, man, look at the graphical boost that we're getting. You can see the drastic difference. And I remember when Gears of War 1 at the time, I really thought Gears of War 1 looked fucking amazing in the magazines, and I wasn't really a graphic whore. Never been, never will be. Come on, I remember, I've never been a graphic whore, because I'll tell you this. There was an Xbox before, and I was on the PlayStation 1 playing PlayStation games. And they're like, come on, look at these janky ass graphics, man. You fucking loser. Look at these graphics. I've been having this war since day one. And I've always said, listen, I don't give a look at what you're playing, though. You're playing some dumbass game that doesn't even have official gameplay. It's just pure garbage. Look at me. I'm playing games like Xenogears and the Brave Prince of Musashi's, Suikoden's. I'm playing all these games with gameplay and story that wraps you in and makes you forget everything about the graphics, even if I was a graphic whore to the degree, but I never was. I was always a gameplay story, and that's it. But anyway, I got the Gears of War, and I remember at the time I was at my girlfriend's house, and she had internet. I didn't have internet. I plugged in the fucking thing, and I was on there playing the Gears of War online mode. But besides all that, when I first got the Gears of War, I thought that shit was fucking hot, yo. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought Gears of War 1 was dope. And it wasn't because of the graphics. It was because I was playing. I had my cousin with me. We were in there getting down, and we were shooting things, and we were ducking and covering, and we felt like we was actually fighting off, monsters on an alien planet. And it was just cool. You know what I mean? It felt extremely cool because it was something different. It was like, yo, I feel like I'm really up against this wall, and I'm coming out the wall. I'm coming over this thing, and I'm shooting, and you're shooting the bad guy, and bullets are hitting him, and blood is squirting out. And it was just the coolest of the cool. That type of experience is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life because it was amazing. Now let's fast forward from 2005 all the way to 2015. This is 10 or 11 or so years later. And Microsoft decides to, except for trying to bring that same experience that they did with the 360 by the aspects of giving us a drastic graphical boost, besides giving us a legendary RPG like Elder Scrolls Oblivion, except for giving us a brand new schwinky Gears of War. You see the difference from then to now? You see what I'm saying? It's like, how can I go into the mindset of buying an Xbox One and believing that the Xbox One is an incredible console when I'm going off of the experience of what I've had 10 fucking years ago? And the experience of 10 fucking years ago with the Xbox 360 compares to nothing with the Xbox One. The Xbox One experience is a complete and utter travesty. I don't understand how somebody can become a fan of the Xbox One, who can actually purchase the Xbox One, who actually can be proud of the Xbox One, when the experience doesn't even match the experience of the 360. We're going 10 fucking years now. Now, okay, they did ports or remasters with the Final Fantasy X, and that's beautiful. Final Fantasy X came back in 2003, but it wasn't on a level like, this shit came out way at the end of the PlayStation 3's life cycle. They weren't trying to give us this bullshit at day one launch to give their console credibility. It was catering to a fans of that certain fan base. It was testing the waters and seeing if we'll buy 10, will you buy a 12 remake? Maybe in the future, if we make Final Fantasy 7, would you buy that? It wasn't holding its bank. It wasn't going all in. It wasn't putting all their poker chips and saying, you know what, this holiday, Final Fantasy X Remaster. This shit didn't even come out in a goddamn holiday. It came out during midsummer. But this holiday season, for all the people who own an Xbox One, Gears of War, you're going to treat you to the Gears of War 1. I can see if it was a Gears of War bundle where it was 1, 2, 3, and whatever the bullshit was. I could see if they were doing that. But no, let's give you Gears of War 1. Let's give you the shit that was dope on the 360 10 to 11 to 12 years ago. And let's give it right back to you, but just to make the frame rate a little better. Can you believe this bullshit? And then now it's showing improving. It's showing improving that it's pure bullshit. The review sites are just shitting on the goddamn game. The game sites are giving it a 7, and I think that's fucking too high. Back in my day when I was playing the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, a game that got a 7 was a solidified, bona fide game. Now we're living in a modern day era where IGN has programmed everybody to believe that a 9 and a 10 is the standards of what the game should be. But no, I remember back in the day, if you got a 7, it was a solidified, bona fide game. It was a classic. It was a legend. I remember they would give the wrestling games 7s back in the day, and you were like, it didn't really fuck with us. We didn't give a fuck because we were still going to go out there, and we bought the motherfucker. We got the multi-tap, and we would play for hours and hours and hours and hours on that goddamn game. We were playing more than on that 7 better than a game that got a 10. But then again, back in the day, a 10 was actually a 10. Compared to today, where Metal Gear is getting a 10, bull fucking shit, getting a 10 with paywalls behind the motherfucker. No game deserves a 10 if you're going to be nickeling and diming the consumer. It's bullshit. But anyway, let's fast forward to today. I own an Xbox One. Say if I own an Xbox One like you assholes. Like you dumb fucks. That's the only console that I had. Matter of fact, imagine if I had both of the goddamn consoles and I had an Xbox One. I'll still be fucking pissed. Because I got this piece of shit brick with the piece of shit Kinect, with piece of shit online service, piece of shit games. I mean, that's all it is. It's the rare replay. Let's go back and bring you some old ass Nintendo games. Super Nintendo games. Let's go back and bring you Vivid Pinata that none of you gay motherfuckers would have even known about if I didn't say anything. And let's bring you Gears of War 1 going into the holiday season. And it gets a 7. And the Xbox community is in an uproar. They think this is blasphemy, blasphemy, bullshit. Are you kidding me? This is Gears of War fucking 1. A duck and cover shooter that's been deteriorated over the years by throwing out sequel after sequel after sequel after clone after clone after clone. It just doesn't mean the same thing it doesn't mean anymore. Gears of War 1 is complete dog shit. Today, back then the experience was different because of something new. But Gears of War 1 is nothing new. If you mean to tell me that the only thing that is new is the frame rates, please continue to eat the mountains of dicks that you're already eating. By the way, you're not buying Gears of War anyway. You're going to buy Madden on Tuesday, so why are you pretending like you give a fuck anyway? Xbox fanboys. Let's stop shitting ourselves. Let's stop pretending that we're really gamers. Let's stop it. Let's stop the bullshit. You know, on Tuesday or midnight, you're going to get the motherfucking Madden, you're gonna be playing that bullshit. Come see me on Madden. I mean, my gamer tag is this. I'm a beast with whatever the most highest rated team is statistically. I'm gonna pick the Patriots, and I'm a beast with that. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, I'm a Patriots fan. Look at me, I got my Patriots hood fitted. Last year, you were you were a Seahawks fan. You jumped from dick to dick to dick. From, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just going to be a complete embarrassment. All over my YouTube feed is going to be nothing but dude bros posting their Madden statistics, even on the PlayStation side. Xbox fanboys, you're not lead. You know, I don't want to just lead you out on the thing. You know what I'm saying? But still, let's not get it twisted. You motherfuckers are not buying Gears of War. Madden will be your first purchase. Gears of War will be your second. Yeah. It's Gears of War 1 alone with its frame rate raised up. Well, I never played Gears of War, so it's giving you a brand new experience for me. Trust me, you know, when you play it, you're not going to enjoy it. If you do, you know, by all means, you know, congratulations. Gears of War ain't it no more, man. Gears of War died years ago. After Gears of War 2, it was over. But yeah, I think the 7s are great. And by all, you know what? You know who's getting better review scores? And I end the video with this. The game that I thought was going to be dog shit. And I'm not going to, you know, buy the game. I don't want to say I would support the game, but it's not my thing. I'm not into the point in the clicking. And, you know, I'm more into a game that's going to grasp my fingers. I'm going to be using all the buttons. I'm going to be using all of my brain cells. I'm going to be using hand-eye coordination. I'm going to be using everything. You know, it's going to bring me some sort of difficulty. I'm sort of looking at the games I'm really going to dive into. And Until Dawn is blowing Gears of War 1 remake out of the water in reviews, and I was very surprised. There was getting 8s and 10s and 7s and 6s. I was like, wow, I didn't know it was going to do that good, but it is doing very well. And that's good. New IPs is where it's at. Only on the PlayStation 4. For those of you who don't own a PlayStation 4, I continue to ask you this. Why not? It's the shit, people. It's the shit.